Good evening, guys. It's Alex again. Slightly better results today. I'm happy to announce. Yesterday the video lagged. I'm not sure why. I think I had a couple of. I had a couple of programs running, and I stopped them today. So hopefully it won't lag. Light isn't too good. Let me get more light on me. Woo! Is this better? Yeah. Still too dark. If I do that, is that good? I get the light is to my right, so only this side is getting any light. That's not very smart. Let me try this. I think this is a little bit better. Okay, let's go into today's video. Okay, slightly better news. If you, like I said yesterday in my video, my particular ability in trading, the strategy I use, which is scalping, is the only strategy I'm actually good at, which means in the last few weeks of a slower market with less momentum, I did terribly badly. And today the momentum that I needed finally came, so I actually made a little bit of money. The thing is, first of all, because my buying power, my account size is just so small by now, I can only take very small positions. I took 20 shares as the lowest position on many of my trades today, which obviously makes it very difficult to make any money off. And just simply because the stock that I traded, RBZ, let me show you what it did today. This should be self-explanatory. I think there were 8 or 10 halts altogether throughout the day today. That is not normal. That is just not normal. So me being able to take these trades, you can see some of my exits here. This one was an early exit, and then it just shot up another $4. So that was kind of painful. But it doesn't matter. I still made money on this stock, so that's what counts. But because my my position sizes were so small, it's not a lot. And in fact, if I show you, can I get this full screen even? Wow, I can even get it full screen, not that it helps much. But these are the trades I took today. You can see it here. This is too big, isn't it? I should make it a little bigger like this. That seems reasonable. So starting from the lower end here being the earliest ones, pre-market, I had a couple of good trades. I made something like $20. I mean, it's just 20 or $24 pre-market, but it was money nonetheless, so I'm very happy about that. And it went kind of well with some minor setbacks until the market opened, and then I had 2 trades in a row that were really bad, very big. And this is the whole issue here. $22 and $47. I will show you the $47 loss in a second. But the whole point is that my losses are very big, whereas my wins are very small. So this is still a bad ratio. Why can't I get this the right size? Okay, I think that now it's the right size. My accuracy today was a lot better because there's 4 red trades versus what is the entire number? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green trades. So my accuracy is very good today. But again, apart from at the very end, this massive RBZ mover, which moved $2 in 10 seconds, 20 seconds maybe, I did not have reasonably good size profits. So anyway, that's why in the end, I have $50 in realized profit, but that does not include commissions yet. So the entire, this is recording, right? Yes, sorry. So with commissions or subtracting commissions, this $50 will probably be around $20, maybe $25, you know? So it's more than I had yesterday, so that's great. But it was due to insane momentum, which is completely abnormal. In fact, let's go into momentum today. I mean, let me just show you this trade, RBZ. It was all about RBZ today. There were a couple of other trades that kind of did similar things, PHUN, CTRM, but nothing went as viral and as ridiculously traded as RBZ. You can see here, it started off at $4 this morning. And the highest it got was $27, and that's just in one day, right? And not only did it go that high, but the way it went there is just ridiculous. 1 halt, 2 halts, 3 halts, 4 halts, 5 halts, 6 halts, 7 halts, and then almost halted the 8th time, but not quite, and then flushing into the first halt downwards, after which comes another one here, and then a nice bounce here on the third round, which I capitalized on quite well. So I'm very happy with this trade. I did some other smaller trades here and here, where I took some profit. And here, I was cooking in this period, so I didn't watch it at the time. But I had some reasonable trades. Okay, let's look at this more detail because it doesn't look like much. I'm sorry, I should go into more detail here. This one is, I got in at 1777, I believe. Yeah, here it says 1777, and I sold at 1972.75. So that's almost $2. Of course, the high was 23.60, which I unfortunately missed. But it had some resistance here, and then it kind of dipped down a little bit. I was too afraid to lose, so I got out as fast as I could, and then it just spiked crazily again. So anyway, this was very very difficult to watch. But anyway, so this was a $2 winner. And here, what do we have here on that bounce? I got in at 12.90. That was a very lucky fill, I have to say. This one, it got halted at, as you can see here, at 1754 or 1750, this level. And as it comes out of the halt, it dips down to 1240. That is ridiculously low, right? Of course, the luck is that when you watch this, the level 2 on a stock that is halted, you can see the prices that are, or the bids and asks that are currently being put in already. So we could see that the bids went from, I think the first one was around 14, and then it went down lower. Anyway, I think I put a limit order. Instead of using my hotkeys, I used a limit order within the halt timing. So as it came out of the halt, it came quickly down to the place that I set I think I set it to 13.20. So I got even filled 30 cents lower than I had initially ordered. So I'm very happy. I got a very lucky fill because it only stood there. It only stayed there. Yes, it stayed there for, I don't know, 1 or 2 seconds, and then it flushed up to 14. So a lot of people got filled on 14 by using their hotkeys because they weren't fast enough. And I got lucky because I put the order before the stock resumed trading. So as it came out of the halt, as it came out of the halt, it went right up and into the next halt going up again. So that was around 1408. And then it got halted for 10 minutes, as you can see. And as it came out, it was dipping down a little bit, and I sold here because I was afraid that it might dip further. So I sold for $14, which is $1.10 above my buy-in. I mean, only 30 shares, but it's still roughly $35 or $33 of profits, which is very nice on such a small position. Of course, it did end up going high to a high of, 1592, before it then flushed down very hard and into the halt going down. So it was only up here for a split second, not even 1 full second. So I'm still happy that I sold at the place that I sold, even though if I had waited maybe half a second, I could have sold for more. I mean, in fact, not only more, but almost $2 more. So anyway, it was a good fill, a very good fill, and not such a good fill on the sell. So anyway, as it came out, I wanted to buy. I think it dipped down very far, and I wanted to watch it. And as it came back up, I quickly bought in. I kind of got filled very late. I ordered the buy, I think at around 12, maybe 12:20, 12:30 ish, and it only got filled at 12:70. So 12.75. So I got a bad fill, but it was still a green trade. So it kind of jumped a little bit higher, met some resistance, and then I sold. And then of course I sold at 13.08, after which it immediately went to 13.50, 55, 58. Could have made a couple of cents more, but that was also too difficult. Halted again. And then it came out of the halt. I didn't trade this one because it was kind of going a little bit slower and I didn't really know where it was going to go. But as it was halted, flushed down, came back out of the halt, I got back in here and scalped for a very small amount from 1890 to 1937. So that's really not a lot. I think it was $9 or something. But that was a very fast trade. That was RBZ, and that is really what I made the most money out of today. The biggest loss that I made is CTRM, and I have a couple of trades on CTRM. So yeah, you can see here, this is the big first trade that I took. So I tried to, what is it? It got halted, yes, the first time. And I put an order at 6.52. Yes, I put an order at 6.52, but it didn't get filled. I think what happened is because I just put the order right before the halt opened. So it was just a split second too late. 1 second earlier and I would have gotten filled at 6.52, which would have been nice because it halted again at 7.17. But I didn't get filled. So I was watching it go into the next halt very quickly. As it came out, it went higher and I thought that it might continue with the next halt. But then it flushed super fast, super fast. I don't exactly remember how fast this was, but that was a couple of seconds. And yeah, this is how I lost $50. So that was very painful. It got halted on the way down. Here, this bounced in the end, but not very quickly. So I didn't take a trade here. And I watched it. I missed this halt going to the next halt. It went up a little bit, went down, went much higher, and then ended up much lower as well. Just whipping up and down really dangerously. So here I got a very good scalp very quickly, buying and then selling in two sessions. Just, what is this? I bought at 780, I sold at 792 and 796 or 97. I think this is 2 and 7. Yeah, it's a 2 and 7 above each other. So that's I got a very quick scalp in there, which was very nice because I made a little bit of profit on there. But after that, it flushed super fast again. So yeah, I didn't watch it then here because it was just too, well, it looked bearish and it was very volatile. So I did trade it until it showed a little bit more strength. And here it did show some strength. And I got in above this resistance level. I'm trying to point with my finger on the screen, sorry. Here you can see the resistance level at around 762, 63. And I watched as it was approaching this. As you can see, it tried approaching it a couple of times, didn't really get there. And then as it finally got there, I got in, but it didn't show a lot of strength. So I sold here and here in two very close by trades for just a couple of dollars. And I didn't trade it ever since. And what else are the other ones? FTFT. Yeah, let's look at FTFT real quick. That was just one trade and that was really bad. Same thing here. So we can see I was not watching it, but I saw it then kind of have this reasonably fast rise. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. So it's kind of taking its time. But this was I thought this was a resistance level. It obviously wasn't. So I was looking for this one, and it did break that, but I didn't get in, I guess. I just saw it too late. And then I got in, and it went a little bit higher, but then it flushed very quickly, and I got out, which is a bad look how bad I got out of this. If I had waited one more minute, I could have still made a little bit of profit, or at least lost a lot less. So that was very frustrating. But I mean, it went so fast that it was just the only reasonable option to get out of it fast. And then there's one more that I traded, which was KTOV. No, two more, KTOV and VTL. Let's look at these two. KTOV. VTL was the one I traded pre-market. So let's look at this one first. here as the, oh, that was pre-market. That was one of my red trades. I had 2 red trades pre-market, and this was one of them. I was watching this, hoping that it might reach higher. I had no obvious. I'm not watching, so see, I make mistakes. I'm just now realizing this was a mistake. I don't see any reasonable entry level here. There's no support, no resistance anywhere close to this entry. So I'm not really sure why I got into it. I guess it looked fast and I decided to take a stab at it, which didn't work out too well, as you can see. So as it came down here, I sold for a $10 loss, I believe it was. Not too much, but quite annoying anyway. I want to go back to CTRM here. Yeah, okay. And VTL. And with this, I'll conclude the video. This was all pre-market. I didn't even trade it here, even though that would have been a nice trade. 106, 114, ah well. But this was a clear level of breaking a resistance point at 106. If I had gotten in here, I could have made almost 10 cents, which is nice. So given it's cheap, I could have taken a bigger position, so that would have been nice. But I wasn't watching it at the time. I guess I was watching RBZ. Where is it? Okay, here we go. I kind of want to zoom in on this. Nope. Ah, great. Where is it? This is very... A little bit more. I almost got it, guys. Just bear with me for a second here. Let me get this out of the way. I'm sorry. This is just bothering everyone. You and me both. Okay. Yeah, this looks better. This was all pre-market, right? So here, this was gapping up out of the blue. It had 80 cents, around 80 cents for the last few days. And then suddenly it opened at 95 cents. And it kind of curled up here, curled up here. And this was, oh yeah, I missed this one because I just turned on my computer at this time. Otherwise, I would have taken probably this trade here, which would have been a very nice one. Anyway, I got in here with a hotkey and then I added another 90 shares, because I couldn't get 200 shares given my very low buying power. And I took one hotkey, which was fast, and then as it was dipping down, I took another smaller position in the level 2 window manually, and then I sold it as it was creeping up here a little bit. It was reaching some resistance here around 115, so I got out just before that. When it hit the resistance, it came back down, and that's when I got out. A little bit early maybe, because then it, as you can see, it did go higher, and I took another very small scalp. What is this? 117, 119. Yeah, I was hoping for this to break through 120, and it didn't, so that's why I sold as it was coming down again. And it was a good fill. That was a good decision because it came down a lot more. Here, it broke 120. I got in. It came back down. I got worried, but then as it broke through 120, I sold at 123, I guess this is. Yeah, well, that's not the best. Not the best fill. I could have waited a little bit longer for it to reach 126, but well, it's a profitable trade nonetheless. And this was a better trade. So, given that this is still an upwards momentum, it came down here, not too low, and as it was reaching 120 again, I got in again. I was constantly watching buyers and sellers, and this looked strong. So I got in here, and then I sold at 125, which was the biggest fill I had. And then I had one red trade here, and that's when I stopped watching it. You see this insanely big wick, a tiny red sliver. What is it? Slither or sliver? Anyway, a tiny red bar, and then huge wicks, both up and down. So this is not looking very confidence building. It only jumped a little bit higher. Here, a huge down and up move. And then the rest of the day, well, now it's selling off. So the rest of the day, there were a couple of smaller opportunities, not options, but they didn't really work out. Point is, this was a higher float stock, so the moves were naturally not very big. Okay, guys, Let me finish here. It's already kind of longer than I thought that I wanted to make it. But anyway, I went through all the trades, and even though it's a green trade, I'm still not too happy because today's momentum was crazy, and I didn't really capitalize on it as good as I could have. First of all, if I had a bigger account size, I could have taken bigger positions, because taking 20 shares obviously isn't a very optimal share size. So my trade size, my account size being so small is putting a limit on how much I can make. And then of course, it is still the only skill, momentum or scalping is the only skill I have developed. So there's other options which, given that there are some mistakes that I still made, I have to be careful. And I'm happy that I turned up with a little bit of profit. But well, let's see how it goes on Monday. Mondays are usually my worst days. So let's just hope that I'm controlling myself very well on Monday, so I don't lose a lot of money. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll see you on Monday, and I'll wish you a good weekend. Goodbye.